two of the best phones on the market, the Apple iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S23, which is coming out right now as I'm making this video. So we'll start off with a comparison because those are the two phones that everyone is saying are the best of the best or whatever, but you also want to consider cost for what you're getting for there. So we're going to start with putting up here some of the specs, and we'll go through it just so you can have a rough understanding what you should be going, like the size. They're both pretty big phones, 6.7, 6.8 doesn't matter. The iPhone has an OLED where you have the dynamic AMOLED. I can't speak, but so Samsung's got a bit of an edge there, but nothing that you need to worry about. As long as everything's at 120 hertz for the refresh rate, it'll be smooth sailing through it. Now, you can go screen to body ratio. There's the features, which is pretty great, but this is where I'm going to have to side with the Samsung. I'm a big fan of the Gorilla Glass, and they have among the best Gorilla Glass on the market. I don't hear too many complaints about the iPhones, but I do hear a lot of them shattering, so that one scares me a little. Okay, so the next step is the hardware, and you can just look at it, the system chips, the processor. I might go a little bit with the iPhone in this direction, but I don't like the 6 gigs of RAM it gives you as opposed to the 8 gigs that you get automatically with almost all the Samsungs. Your RAM is basically going to, everything you run is going to need some RAM. The more complex the program, the more RAM you're going to use, especially if you're doing multiple things or using newer complicated programs, the better. But both of them are actually okay, and I haven't heard many complaints about the iPhone's RAM, so let's just say that they're very comparable. The battery, however, is a little bit different. The iPhone doesn't have the best battery, but the Samsung, just from pure use of it, knows how much it eats up. So I'm not ever happy with the Samsung batteries as of late. The charging, same thing. You can get a lot more in the Samsung than that, but I'm still not going to base a phone. What I will base the phone on is the cameras. For your main camera of the iPhone, it is a 48 megapixel as opposed to the 200 megapixel that the Samsung is offering. I myself am using a 50 megapixel right now on the phone that's recording this. So I'm not that picky. I think it still comes in great, and I've seen pictures from both. They both are very spectacular. So, and as you go through this, even on the third camera, the optical zoom, it's all pretty standard. And the thing is, the Samsung does record in 4 or 8K. I don't like the frames per second, and all that means is that the more movement, the more choppy, I guess, or just it's hard to explain, but it's not the best quality. So I've been recording in 4K and don't even care about 8K. It's also giant files. So once again, for the video camera, I don't think it really matters at this point till they make a slightly better 8K video. The last things are the front captures. Both of them have amazing 4K front capture, back capture, so it's hard to argue. What I would actually have to put up, or put as the main points for this, is the price value. Both of them are very expensive phones, and how badly do you need some of these features? So that's all up to you. You're usually paying a little more for the iPhone, depending where you're looking, though, for that tiny little Apple symbol than almost anything else. So keep that in mind as well.